Now, let's just go through whatever we know about the move towards One Nation, One Poll. Centre has formed a committee. It has been formed under former President Ram Nath Kovind. BJP in 2014, in its manifesto, had spoken about simultaneous assembly elections along with Lok Sabha elections. In fact, in 2018, BJP's former MP had actually organized a national seminar on One Nation, One Election. Ex-MP Vinay had actually submitted this report to Prime Minister Modi in 2018. This is what we know till now. Now, I'm being joined by my colleague Megha Prasad. Megha, very interesting developments over the last few hours. They all may not be correlated, but it's politically huge. One, in terms of how the centre has formed this committee. Two, in terms of how BJP President JP Nadda called on the former president. In terms of how the India Alliance meeting is happening in Mumbai, they have questioned the timing of this announcement. All of this just coming together. How do you see all of this, Megha?
Well, Sneha, the primary question on everybody's mind is whether all of this is related or not. I think all of us are looking for that answer if the information that was shared yesterday from the Parliament that a special session is to be called. A decision has already been taken and formalized that the session is going to be from 18 to 22nd, 5 sittings of the Parliament in this month. That's one. But right after that, if you have an information coming in that a committee has been formed to look into One Nation, One Election, one obviously is trying to connect the two and see. But let me tell you, let's have a little bit of clarity on this. We've been speaking to people who have been connected with the entire process and exercise of One Nation, One Election. You just mentioned Vinay Sahasrabudhe. I had a brief chat with him, and he did, of course, tell me that, all of this, of course, has been a part of what the BJP has been talking about right from the very beginning. And yes, this has been in the back of the mind of the party that they want to do it. The Prime Minister has spoken about it. But is it that this committee, the information of which has just been shared, that it has been formed, we are still looking to find out what the other details of this committee are, or the other committee members, that will this committee be in a position to look at the entire One Nation, One Election theory, because it's a very, very complicated process. And this is a process that requires constitutional amendment. And for the constitutional amendment, you will need a two-third majority, even if, one were to overlook the numbers there in Lok Sabha, because there the government has enough numbers. What about Rajya Sabha? And in a span of about 2 weeks' time, because we are already looking at the we are at the beginning of the month of September, and we are looking at 18 days' time, in which entire 1 week is actually going to go for G20. Do we really have that kind of time and mind space where the committee is looking into the One Nation, One Election, the entire process of it, and coming up with a report, the report which can be turned into a bill that swiftly brought into the cabinet, cleared, and then brought as a bill in this special session? Looks a little unlikely at this moment. But just the very fact that there has been a move in that direction, you formed a committee, whether the committee's report is going to come now, whether it's going to happen later, at least there is a move in that direction. That's why everybody is talking about it. That's one. The other thing is, yes, we had just 2 days back, you had Mr. Mohan Bhagwat visit former President Kovind at his residence today. You had party president, BJP party president, Mr. Nadda also go there. So yes, everybody is asking, what's going on and why these interactions so quickly in this time. And then, around the same time, you are talking about a committee where a former president is going to preside or head that committee, which is very unusual. We must understand a former president of India sitting at the head of a committee to look into a matter like this. We've been speaking to constitutional experts and people who follow all of these things very closely. They say that in their memory they haven't really known a committee that a former president has been made to head. So while we are looking at all of these things, let's also not forget that there could be other burning issues that the government may want to bring to the table of the parliament in terms of bills, and there could be absolutely unrelated 3 or 4 very important issues that the government is looking at. Could it be, and this is just in the realm of speculation, could it be the Jammu and Kashmir elections for which the government has made a commitment in the Supreme Court that they are ready any day now? That needs an amendment. Is that the reason? There is also a talk of bringing in a centralized investigation team that the government is looking at forming with a CIO, Central Investigating Officer. That will need the nod of the parliament. Could that be the reason? So here, everything is in the realm of speculation. But when it comes to one nation, one election, I think we should just know that a committee has been formed and a movement has happened in that direction. Whether you can link it to the special session of the parliament, I will say too early to say that.